During that Flint, Michigan rally, Trump once again praised the Secret Service, and he mentioned that he had a nice call with his opponent, Vice President Kamala Harris. Meanwhile, Harris was in the battleground state of Pennsylvania speaking to the National Association of Black Journalists and reiterated that she is glad that Trump is safe. Joining me now for the latest is CBS News campaign reporter Shawna Mizelle. So, Shawna, yesterday Harris spoke more about her childcare tax plan. I want to play a little sound from that.
Often have to decide to either be able to work or be able to afford childcare. Like they can't afford childcare and actually do the work that they want to do because it's too expensive and it doesn't actually level out in terms of the expense versus the income. My plan is that no working family should pay more than 7% of their income in childcare.
So, she talked about that no more than 7%. She didn't really flesh out the plan as to how she's going to make that happen, but she did talk about a child tax credit, expanding that. What's the difference between sort of the both candidates when it comes to child care plans?
Well, I think what you see here is really a similarity where both of them did not expound or explain their ideas. Former President Donald Trump was asked about child care costs at an economic summit in New York, and Donald Trump said he would approve legislation to address that, but then he went on to say that tariffs and taxes on foreign nations would end up helping the U.S. deficit and somehow helping with everything, including child care costs.
So Harris also spoke about, not assuming to have any particular voting bloc support just because of her race. She was specifically asked about black men. What were some of your biggest takeaways from that conversation yesterday?
I think what we've seen from Kamala Harris since topping the Democratic ticket as their presidential nominee is that although this is a historical instance as the first black woman to do so, this is not something that she has really leaned into. So let's take a listen to what she said at NABJ yesterday.
I think it's very important to not operate from the assumption that black men are in anybody's pocket. Black men are like any other voting group. You got to earn their vote. So I'm working to earn the vote, not assuming I'm going to have it because I am black, but because the policies and the perspectives I have understands what we must do to recognize the needs of all communities.
Now, this is particularly interesting because black women and black people have been the backbone of the Democratic Party. But when Biden was the nominee topping the ticket over the summer, we saw reports and poll numbers that support from black men was waning. So Harris here is acknowledging that seemingly and saying that she is going to work to get their vote.
So in the meantime, while former President Donald Trump has said several times that he had very pleasant conversations with both President Biden and Kamala Harris, his campaign has certainly doubled down on his rhetoric, blaming Democrats for this latest apparent assassination attempt. Has the Harris campaign responded to any of these claims at all?
They have not, although they have both put out statements saying that they're glad the president is safe. They have not responded to that blame that we've seen come from the Trump campaign and other Republicans or just prominent voices like Elon Musk, who had actually put out a tweet saying that no one has tried to assassinate Harris or Joe Biden, which he later deleted. The campaign's not responding directly to that, but we do see them continuously bringing up this shooting. We actually saw it from Harris's running mate, Tim Walz, just yesterday in North Carolina.
All right, Shawna, thank you very much.